Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Star Spinner Tarot by Trungles. Website is chroniclebooks.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you'd like to. Supportive Oracle cards, if I can pick them up. Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Reisch Baskin. Websites on the back, torihartman.com, watkinspublishing.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you'd like to. Okay. Scorpio. This is peculiar. Let's see what's coming. Okay. You got this card, the Queen of Swords, right? Yeah, Queen of Swords. Recently, if this reading is hitting, or maybe you're about to, just to be fair, something has been said, and you're the one who said it. Either it recently happened, or it's about to happen. I feel like this is obvious, but you say things for a reason. If you're saying something, it's because you want something to change, or you feel you're saying it with purpose. This is not just like I'm not just shooting the breeze here with whoever. You said something with purpose, and when it's said, again, it could have just happened or it's about to happen. You said what you needed to say, but then you're like, now I don't know what to do with it. I feel like the response to this, I didn't care for the response. I think it's more about the response. Because there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do with this situation. I'm kind of cringing with this one because I'm seeing some images. You can't live somebody's life for them, and you don't want to. I feel like whatever this is, you have no interest in that. But you're trying to push something forward. This is very interesting. The response is not... It's not what you want. I feel like that's the best way I can put it. It's just literally not what you want. And I feel like I was hoping for something more, but I'm like, when I see the Page of Cups here, this is not an energy that you're like, this is not an energy you prefer to be in, because this is like a waiting for the next, like, what can I do next? I'm waiting for somebody to tell me. I wanted a better response from what I moved forward with. I said what I needed to say, and I wanted things to go better than what they are. I don't like where I'm sitting. I don't think you did anything wrong, though. You did the best you could, and I think it's more the situation than you. And the forgiveness card here is kind of like, I feel like you're holding yourself to a standard that's, dare I say, unrealistic. It's kind of like, no, I wanted this to be fixed. And it seems like this can't be fixed. And it's almost like you're holding responsibility on yourself as if it should have been. And you did what you needed to do. Whatever it is means a lot to you. You literally can't move it forward. There's more cards here. That I feel like this goes better, but I'm waiting to see where. Whatever it was, you said something because it mattered. You wouldn't have bothered otherwise. You literally would have been like, well, if I don't care, why would I say anything? You said it because you wanted change. You wanted something to go better. You tried to put in that effort. You did what you needed to do. And what I'm getting from these two cards is like, it just, I don't have the ability to move it. It's kind of like looking at your front yard and there's this big boulder, maybe 10 feet wide, 20 feet tall. You need some type of equipment to move it. So you put out the information to try to get that to happen, and the boulder is just not going anywhere. You're not getting the support you need. You seem to be dependent on somebody else, or maybe more than one person, to move things forward, and it's just like it's just not going to happen. But the thing is, you do have the ability to use that situation in a different way. Because whatever it is, whoever you said something to, they're making choices and they're going in a different direction. This is more of a solitary card for me. The Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups are more of a solitary feel. Whoever you said something to seems to want to do things their own way and has no interest in doing it the way you want it to be done. And they're going off on their own. And I feel like they're making a purposeful decision to go in their own direction. I also feel like they're fighting it. I'm saying that because I got the Five of Wands here. They're literally fighting it as if you're going to go their direction. That's not what's going on. The choices they're making, and they're making a long-term choice here. The Pentacles energy, that's long-term decisions. It's leading to a whole new phase. And whatever this phase is they're going to, I think they're going to this on their own. The Five of Swords is kind of like, what's the point? The Vanity is kind of like, I'm going to do it my own way. They may be flat out abandoning you or just walking away from whatever you said. They're rejecting it. They're just flat out rejecting it. And it's creating a whole new phase to come in. When I get it upside down, it may not be a phase that they're going to enjoy. It may not be even a phase that you really wanted for them. But that's them. Because I see them going the direction they're going, acting like they don't have a choice, and just this is how it's going to play out. And they're just going forward the way they need to go forward. And it doesn't mean it's wrong, but it definitely doesn't match you. So I'm not going to say it's wrong. Whatever they're going, maybe that's what's right for them. But it doesn't match you. It just does not match you. Because what I get is I get Judgment and the Sun coming in later. If they don't want to go your way, that's fine. Then we need to go our own ways. Whatever this is, I don't feel like it's going to be like an instant, like, okay, that's how it is, and yay, yippee skippy, skipping down the road. It may take a while for it to soak in, but there will be peace, and I do feel like whatever choice you made was the right decision for you. If somebody's walking away from you and there's a whole new phase or that World card coming in, they might be leaving your life, that might be for the best, because I see the Sun card. The Sun card, in my opinion, is the best card in the deck. That's things working out a lot better. Temperance and the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is healing. You made the right decision. I feel like maybe that's what's bothering you, and that's why the Hanged Man is here, and that's why the forgiveness is here. Because maybe this is hard for you to let go of at first, but you did make the right decision. And it's almost like, I've said this to somebody recently, it's kind of like your analytical brain going, I made the right decision and I know that. And then the emotional side of your brain going, yeah, but it doesn't feel like it, I don't like it. If it's the right decision, why do I feel the way I feel? And it's kind of like an argument between the analytical side and the emotional side where they're just not on the same page. They will be at some point. Because I feel like as this system, it's almost like if you had like a week of bad weather, after that week of bad weather moves on, maybe it takes you a couple months to really pick up all the pieces of all the damage that weather left behind. But once it is picked up and things start to feel like normal again, it's going to feel better than it did. It's going to feel better than it did. And I feel like that's where you're going to get your peace, and that's where you're going to get your solace. You have something really good. You have Judgment going in your favor in the sense of like you did make the right decision. But I keep getting like this analytical, emotional argument. Like analytically, yes, I know I made the right decision. Emotionally, well, why doesn't it feel that way? Because it's taking your emotional side a little bit to catch up to it, to really feel like this is what you wanted, but it is what's best. I feel like you wanted a better solution, you wanted a better outcome. Analytically, you probably realized that that wasn't realistic. Emotionally, you still wanted it, which is not wrong. It's just going to take you some time to make peace with it. Once you move through it, once it's moved on, it's kind of like, again, like you had a week of bad weather. It might take a couple months to really clean up all the mess that's left behind from it. But once it's cleaned up and you start feeling good and like, you know what? I was in this little house and I liked my little house, but now that all these repairs came in, I now have a little house with a porch and a back deck that I didn't have before. And I kind of like that. These possibilities opened up things that I didn't realize that I could have, and now things are much better than I thought they could be. So I feel like that's where things are going for you. Is there anything else I need to say? Because I know Judgment's going in your favor, but give it time. Temperance keeps coming in kind of like you're going to be surprised how things just move forward on their own accord. Time is going to pass quicker than you realize, and I feel like you're just going to have one of these days where you're going to look back and be like, you know what? 3-4 months ago, I was going through this, but now I'm here. Things feel a lot better, and now 3 or 4 months later, it just feels so much better. I feel better about it later. It just needed time to pass, and this might be one of those things where time heals all wounds. Time needs to pass before this is going to feel good again. So I feel like, yeah, time. Okay, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.